We got an XRP price prediction from a major exchange. We're also going to talk about the Department of Justice. Ooh, major charges for a crypto theft case. We're going to talk XLM pricing as well, along with...
I say lots of naughty things, so here's your warning.
Yo, look at these three charts. Here's BTC, here's XLM, and here's XRP. You can't tell me that the market's controlled by bots and algos. Come on now, everyone. But before we get into crypto news, we're going to talk a lot about price and a little bit of DOJ charges action along with price prediction stuff. Your comments come first. Why? Because you, the viewer, matter most. Love to ride one too, channel member. Also dropping support on the channel, so double thank you to Usis. Thanks, Mr. Klaus. Lovely news is at least it's not going to zero like some crypto clown was talking about in his video, which I just dismissed, because we all know XRP is all over the world, so it's not just meme coins. Choo-choo putas, thanks. Yeah, I don't know where players are coming up with this. It's going to zero crap. You had FTX's FTT token, right? FTX went bankrupt. Did their FTT token go to zero? No. What about Celsius's CEL token? Celsius went bankrupt. Did their CEL token go to zero? No, girlfriend. So why the hell would XRP's token go to zero? I swear, it's just people out there trying to pump garbage in order to do what? To get views. Grumpy old newbie miner says third quarter is going to sneak up on investors. Buy the utility coins, still can get some great deals. HBAR, XEC, XLM, Algo, Ondo, of course, XRP. Remember to invest in your comfort zone, but invest. Look, you're going to have opportunities. Why? All right, third quarter dude's totally right. Because we don't have the USA-China trade deal. And remember, the 90-day temporary deal that we had gets us through to the early part of August. So expect volatility. Expect charts to look like this for the majority of the crypto market. And yes, bots and algos rule the roost. What else do I got for you? Yehefe13 says, I love it when you're forced to be positive. No one's forcing me to be positive, but I'm thinking we might get a cloture vote on Monday that leads us to what? Debate on the stablecoin bill. It's going to be a big week. I can feel it in my bones. Oh, love the optimism. Bitcoin sitting at 104,758. ETH 2466. XRP at 240. While BNB is at 645. XLM's at 28. Now we're going to talk price action of both. While ADA's at 74.7. Sol's at 170. While the United States Department of Justice charges a dozen people in a $260 million crypto theft tied to the Genesis case. Oh, okay. Let's do some learning here, everyone. The Department of Justice's press release said the suspects, including both U.S. and foreign nationals, were arrested this week in California. The charges against them included racketeering, wire fraud, money laundering, and obstruction of justice. By the way, the Department of Justice and the SEC said they're going to keep going after fraud and all the bad stuff. They're not going to go after, oh, is this a security? Is this a command? No, they're not going to do that crap. But they're still going to go after the people that try to screw you over. The scammers use social engineering tactics to impersonate and mislead the creditor and gain access to sensitive accounts. Wait a minute, are they talking about Coinbase? No, I'm just trying to make a joke right here. According to information shared by Zach XBT, the group stole $243 million in assets from the creditor. Notably, the stolen crypto was later funneled through mixing service tools, which, by the way, got the green light from the OCC along with other regulators as saying, yo, you're not naughty anymore. These mixers help break the trail of funds on the blockchain, making it harder for law enforcement to trace the money. I want to ask y'all a question. Look, mixers are kind of one of those things. Are mixers, in your opinion, legal or not? And the reason I'm asking this is because once those funds are moved into a mixer, they're really, really hard to track. But at the same time, should the government really know what all of our transactions are about? The Justice Department described the group's activities as a coordinated conspiracy. In addition to the financial crimes, some of the charge were also involved in physical home break-ins related to the theft. So these players were all over the place. Officials have said this case reflects the growing links between cyber fraud and real-world crime. Basically, criminals will do criminal things. Do you want to read this from the United States Attorney's Office, District of Columbia? It's all linked in the description below. Now, let's keep it on with the whole Gemini thing. Why? because Gemini did an XRP price prediction. And then we're going to talk about some crypto markets and what we got going on this week, because yes, I'm optimistic. Let's learn. XRP price to 10,000. Whoa, girlfriend. Gemini shares bullish and bearish price outlook for XRP come 2030. Okay, so they're zooming out quite a bit. Prominent cryptocurrency exchange Gemini has laid out its most bullish and bearish predictions for Ripple's XRP. The exchange outlined its long-term asset valuing the price of 10,000 in 2030. That's their best case, okay? They say that it also could settle between what? $5 and $6.28 over the next 5 years. Okay. They also said, though, on a bearish standpoint, it could drop by 94% to 13 cents. Okay. Basically, what Gemini is doing this. They're trying to stay hot, spicy, naughty, and relevant, throwing price predictions out there all the way up to $10,000 to 13 cents. Essentially, Gemini can't be wrong here. And what I don't like about this is it's kind of like the shit posts you see all over X, Twitter, whatever the fuck you want to call it, where people like Jack the Rippler just post all sorts of stupid shit. Or the dude that was doing the kangaroo XRP moon post. It's just a bunch of mumbo jumbo so that they stay relevant. I wanted to bring this up, though, because remember, Gemini's an exchange. Should exchanges be allowed to post hopium garbage like this? Because remember, they benefit on the volume. And Tyler Yetzer, who comments a lot in these videos, said in an earlier video today, bro, the only one making money in the crypto market right now is the exchanges. Why? Because look at the volume. It's Sunday, everyone, and the volume is heating up. We're over 100 billion right now in the last 24 hours. Altcoins starting to move again. BTC ETH, the greater, broader crypto market, is pumping and a dumping. Lowercase p, lowercase d. No, I'm not talking about like big moves. But look, this is BTC chart for the day. 103 to 105.5, back down, now kind of moving back up. Yeah, kind of sus, isn't it? Because the XLM chart looks the same, the XRP chart looks the same. So you're telling me that XRP, a utility-based thing, plays just like a store of value thing like BTC? No. XLM playing exactly like BTC? No. And even the volumes between them are quite different. XRP's volume down 17%, BTC's volume up 13%. So it's all over the board. And in fact, what we've seen across the greater market is BTC is tugging the things. BTC doesn't function like Doge, does it? No, it doesn't, but they're all being tugged alike, which is very frustrating. Now, XLM got close to that 30-cent mark, got pushed back down. Zoom out a little bit here, and you can see what? Players got to that 32, almost 33-cent mark, took some profits, rode it back on down, but what's the overall trend? The overall trend is stellar, is still looking healthy compared to where it was before the election. But, and here's the big but, that 50-cent push that we saw all the way back in January and all the way back here in December, we're not even close. And we're going to need a lot of good news to get us there. Why? Because we've been struggling over these last several months to maintain 30-cent action. In fact, we haven't had 30 cents since March 2nd. Now, will passage of the stablecoin bill get us there? Probably not, because obviously who does that help out, right? Yeah, it's obvious. Now, regular crypto regs, like regs for the rest of the altcoin market, yeah, that'll definitely help out, but we're months and months away from that. Now, Stellar's volume overall, 167 million. Not the hottest, but again, better than it has been since before the election. Before the election, 40 million, 52 million, 47 million, 43, 26. So obviously we're doing way better. Now let's take a look at XRP. Again, got up here, we got to that 243 mark, and then we got pushed back down. Again, it seems like bots and algos are trading this action. Volume right now at 2.5 billion. Zoom out to the month, and what did we notice? 2 times the market got us up to that 260 mark, and we took some profits from there. We got support north of 230 mark. We were hoping we would stay north of that 240 mark, but again, that's kind of where we settled at this weekend. Kind of where I wanted it goal-wise, but the reality is what, everyone? The reality is the exchanges are making money on the volume. The other weird thing is what? Japanese yen pairing fell off, replaced with Binance's USDC pairing. The other thing to note right here is too, the second pairing, which is the Korean won pairing now, even volume there is kind of boring at $183 billion. Now I'm going to have some alerts set up, and here's why. That CME XRP futures contract actually goes live tonight. Yes, tomorrow is the actual first day, the first official day, but you can trade those contracts early on Sunday night. So I'm going to be paying attention tonight. What am I going to be paying attention to? My alerts are going to be set at 245 because that was where we saw some near-term resistance right here, and I want to keep a really tight eye on it, okay? So I'm going to go 235 on the low, 245 on the high. That's where my alerts are set. I'm also going to have a volume alert set, okay? I want to know if the 24-hour volume gets over that 3 billion mark. I want to see when trading starts tonight if we start ticking up in 3 billion in a 24-hour time period. Now, in the next 90 days, or just under 90 days, USA-China trade deal. We've got some FOMC meetings coming up with Jerome Powell and the Fed. We're looking at rate cuts. We got a couple CPI data things going on. We've got the Stablecoin Genius Act, which hopefully gets passed by then. So we do have some big events coming up. We also have other XRP ETFs coming up, which could definitely be some bullish factors for the market. And with BTC looking healthier right here at 104, and if you zoom out to the BTC chart for the 1 month and then zoom out to the year, you can see BTC is starting to peek its head up in the clouds again, and we know what happens. When BTC starts roaring, it takes the rest of the market with it, and the BTC volume is starting to pump on this Sunday, so that leads to what? The rest of the market riding the coattails, which is good for us. So let's see what happens, because the setup for this upcoming week looks really juicy, and the alts hopefully will benefit from that action. So there's definitely optimism brewing in the market. I mean, look at the most recent run of BTC, and we know how the alts get tugged by BTC. But the alts are also in a much better place than where they were a couple weeks ago. And if we get the stablecoin cloture vote, which then brings it to a little floor proceeding, a little floor debate, and if we happen to get that passed through the Senate, that sets us up even nicer. Now, will Jerome be cutting rates anytime soon? Probably not. We probably won't get any rate cuts until we get a finalized deal between the United States and China. That looks to be happening about the first week of August. That's when that 90-day temporary deal will be up. So until then, what do we expect? Volatility, right? Bots and the algos trading in crypto, and we know how that goes. So what do you do until then? You be ready, right? You have the dry powder ready, and you pay attention to the news. So if something happens, you're ready to make the moves. Why? Because the bigs have been playing the pumps and dumps, and those of you out there that have been paying attention to those resistance points, because they've all been near-term resistance points, have been doing very well on this action. So, futures, they're going live tonight. Monday night, cloture vote when it comes to the Genius Act. A lot of big stuff happening in the next 24 hours. I'm going to keep you informed. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out. And choo-choo what? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you because I've got a bad ear. Choo-choo what? Choo-choo bitches. Oh, and by the way, I did a track workout earlier. No blood coming from here or here. So I think we're good.